Take 20. Anyway, hi guys, welcome to It's Not Over, a podcast where I celebrate amazing women and men sometimes who are a little bit older than you, Colleen, kind of starting over and doing their thing and not asking for permission and just learning from each other and forming this amazing community of people that are going to be doing stuff starting now into later in life that are going to be freaking awesome. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I use my hands a lot, don't I? I'm going to try not to. Okay.
Well, today the tables are turned. I will be interviewing the beautiful Julie Savitz. She is a midlife coach, single mom, and host of the podcast It's Not Over. She helps women navigate divorce, life transitions, starting over, midlife, and she brings over 2 decades of experiences as a special needs teacher and counselor.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Wow, I do a lot. Thank you for pointing that out.
You do.
Thank you.
So for someone hearing you for the first time, those who have not joined your podcast in the past, who are you today?
That's a good one. I am a strong, independent, not scared of too many things, confident, not all the time. I think people think all the time wake up and I'm like happy and doing the right thing. And I have moments, Colleen, but I have learned through my own life experience how to monitor that and regulate that and to give it time when needed, but not pay too much attention. We've spoke about this when it's not needed, and just kind of recognize there's so much more of life to live. And really interesting. I've decided to share it with people. So I didn't really know it was going to end up being a thing, but I'm so glad it did. And I'm so glad you guys are joining, and I'm so glad I get to share.
Wonderful.
And I'm also a mother of 2 amazing daughters. Should have said that first. I am also a coach. I am also a lot of fun things, but it has been such a gift to come here and make it here and use what I've learned, whether it was in school or through my life experience, to share with you. So that's what I'm doing.
So you're wearing multiple hats on a
Correct.
day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Describe the current chapter of your life.
Wow. Okay. I would say it is life happening. People understanding myself, working with people to understand. It is a rocky road. It is a beautiful road when you look at it through certain glasses. I am a work in progress, for sure. There's a lot of things I need to work on.
We all are.
Yes, right? There is. You've never arrived. If you think you've arrived, Colleen, you're wrong. I'm learning from my mistakes. I am trying to do certain things for my clients and my daughters, and just trying to make my daughters proud of a strong, independent woman, kind of doing it on my own, because I've been doing it on my own. I was thinking about it this morning, 10 years. I've been divorced longer than I was married, and it's a road. It's been a really interesting ride, and it is full of all the emotions. I was scared, I was happy, I was brave, I was not. There were times I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. A friend needed to get me out of bed because menopause really took me by surprise in all of this. So I am just in a chapter where I am learning to love myself, share it with others, and just look at the positive side of things.
I love that. And I know your daughters are definitely proud of you, and they think you're amazing, as I do.
Thank you.
You're very open about your divorce.
Yes.
Can you tell us just a little bit about what that experience was really like for you?
Yes. For me, Colleen, it seemed to me that I was the first one out of all of my friends to get divorced. And it was just, and this is what I talk about with my clients. My ex and I are amazing friends. Literally, I speak to him every day. He's an amazing dad. He was a great husband. I think there just came a time where we both recognized that we weren't forever people to go to the future with. It's so hard to tell. When you do get married, you hope you grow older together, and sometimes you don't, and that's okay. But it was really scary. It was a very scary time financially, emotionally. In my head, because I was one of the first people to do it, I thought I was going to stay in my 5-bedroom house and keep my help, and things were not going to change as much as they did. So I'm grateful for that. I'm almost happy I didn't know what was going to come, because it forced me to do things outside of my comfort zone, because my life was really easy up until those moments. And the divorce itself was icky. We had financial accountants, and it was not fun. But I think he would say it too. I think we both came out on top, learning how to parent and to be friends and to move on with grace, and bring our friendship with us.
I know so many women can relate, and maybe others are more private, whether they're embarrassed or ashamed. Since you do speak openly, what do you think was the hardest part about the divorce, and maybe something that, you know, people don't talk about?
Yeah. There is, I'm trying to work with it, there's a stigma around divorce. I don't know why, because statistics show many people will be getting divorced. It was being alone. There were many nights where I was like, oh, amazing, I'm alone, and I could watch my TV. And then in the very next second, I was like, shit, I'm alone.
Right.
So
sit in that discomfort feeling of...
It was scary. It was really scary. So kind of getting comfortable in the uncomfortableness, finding out who I was to better give myself to someone else, part of it, but also understanding that I was a different person than when I got married, and just navigating it. There really was a big stigma about it. I remember my daughter, when she had her bat mitzvah, all the other parents were together, and there was a moment where the rabbi was giving out information. He said, oh, my daughter Jenna, here's a packet for you, and here's a packet for you, because you're divorced. And he said it in front of everyone, and I remember my daughter's face got white, and there were really a lot of uncomfortable moments like that. A lot of it I promise, pretending to be okay when I wasn't. Financially, my world blew up. I wasn't living the life that I was. Moving and divorce are the two biggest stressors. I had to do that 3 times in 1 year. But women don't realize, or I certainly didn't realize, how strong I was along the way. So I had a small pity party. And then I just kind of decided this was going to be my new life, and I'm just going to be strong and do the best I can. That was all I could really do.
Yeah. Was there one particular thing or person or something that helped you get through that time and really kind of push you out of that discomfort?
Yes, absolutely. My mother was amazing, although parents tend to take sides. I don't think my ex-husband thinks she's his favorite person, but my friends, Colleen, my friends were and I lost friends along the way, trust me, but my friends were so supportive and so there for me. And we did a lot. We had girls' nights, and we formed this girl gang. And even though they were still married, I was always like a plus whatever. I never minded, because my meals were getting paid for. But they were so open to helping me in a way, even though it was hard for them to understand what I was going through, because that's what we do, women, right? That's what you and I do. That's what women do for each other. So they showed up. They really showed up. I read a lot of self-help books, which was great. And here I am. But my girlfriends really showed up for me.
I think having a good support system is really the difference between overcoming and, moving really into that next step of your life. Yeah. Having the appropriate support can really make or break the situation. And I'm so glad that you had that during that time. Now, you did mention you have an amicable relationship with your daughter's father. Mm-hmm. How did you guys come to that approach, knowing that there was so much contention initially during the divorce?
A little bit of it is a blur, by the way, because I think people that see us now, and it was work, Colleen. It was a lot of work. We did not like each other for some time, but it was knowing that we are still family, your family forever. We had young kids. We needed to figure out how we were going to parent them, as there's two houses, and he moved very close. We always kept close. We were looking at the school zones. We really put our children first, and we really still liked each other when things were over, when the divorce itself was over. So it was a conscious decision. I think there were probably times I put on a happy face for the children, and he probably put on a happy face for me and the children. But it's kind of like you act as if, and then it kind of becomes you.
Okay.
Because we really stuck it out, and we traveled together, and people think it's crazy, but it's doable. We stay in the same room when we travel, so every decision I make for my children, he is involved in, and it's hard. I recognize it's hard for him to be a father of two teenage daughters, so I have a lot of respect for him for showing up and doing that. He's really an amazing person.
I'm so glad to hear that. I mean, it really will make the difference for your daughters, and, you know, having the two of you close and working together so that they don't have to feel that anxiety and that choosing sides, you know, they can just be themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's super important. What advice would you give to someone who wants to have peace during the situation and maybe is struggling to find that, or find that acceptance of, you know, co-parenting in a healthy way?
Yes. That's a great question. To keep peace it should be a non-negotiable. I'm a big fan of communication before the marriage, during the marriage, and during the divorce, because you stop communicating, no one's a mind reader. So to keep peace, it is knowing what's really important to you and your children, knowing when to give in. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Time out in our house during the divorce was a really great thing. It's like, all right, everyone, time out. Everyone went to their own rooms, and we sat and we thought about it. And we came back to what was best for our children, because we understood, my ex and I understood that they were going to take this into their relationships. We understood that very early on. We both of our parents are married 65 years. So
Wow.
we didn't know from it.
Right.
I didn't know that it was having two homes for little girls is really hard. They want their makeup, and they want their lashes, and they want their stuff, and they want their parents together.
Right.
So that was tricky, and we did really well with some things, and some things we weren't doing well, and we got together, and I said, I wish we were doing better in this capacity, and we sat and we worked it out. It was a non-negotiable that we were going to show up a certain way for our children, and I'm so glad that we did, and we will continue to, because there's going to be weddings and all sorts of things together. And divorce also is you're not only divorcing the person, Colleen, you're divorcing their family. And
Right.
I have a really amicable relationship. I still call his mother mom, and we still do things together sometimes. So it's putting on that face and knowing that the people around you are soaking it up.
Yeah. So being child focused, putting aside the
Yes.
resentment, any anger, any discontent, and so
Not easy.
easier said than done, right?
Easier
Lots of
said than done.
practice.
Lots of practice, yes.
Okay, so communication, most importantly. Now, I know I'm going through it myself. Being a single mom is extremely challenging. I don't think anyone could prepare you for that when you've relied on someone else to be there in, you know, some capacity. So what has being a single mom taught you about yourself?
I'm like a badass bitch. I'm just going to say
Yes,
it out
you
loud.
are.
I'm just going to
Yes,
say it out
yes,
loud.
you are.
I'm just going to say it out loud, because there were seasons I was not feeling it, Colleen. I was horrible, and my children are suffering, and
Survival mode.
survival mode.
Yeah.
It's such a blur. I mean,
Right.
you see it too. It seems like such a blur when you're going through it. It was survival mode, but it was always the communication, always communication. This makes me feel this way, or I didn't like when you said this, or I would sit down with my children and I would say, I know it must be really hard for you to have two homes, or I know it must be really hard for you when I started dating. That was a crazy conversation. So although it's not all about your children, they are a big part of your relationship, but also me. I wanted to become a person. I was hopeful I would. I didn't know what was going to happen. But I asked for help. I reached out to a coach, which helped me a lot. And I looked around me, and there were so many things I needed to take and wanted to take, but there were so many things also that I had to let go.
Right.
And now looking back, would I've done it the same? I maybe would have done things a little bit different, but here we are.
So on that note, how did you find, because they always say, it's like put on your oxygen mask first, right?
Yes.
How did you find the balance of showing up for yourself while also showing up for your children while being a single parent? It just seems for some it's very overwhelming.
It's overwhelming when you're saying it. But you have no choice, Colleen. Either you lay down and you die, or you stay in a relationship that isn't serving you, or a lot of times women go right into another relationship because they're not whole. So for me, it was at that point of my life, I was 40 we had young children. When we got divorced, it was more listening to myself, spending time with myself, meditating, and really paying attention to what felt good, whether it was dating or whether it was me figuring out my own body, whether it was me going to dinner by myself, or whether it was me calling someone saying, hey, I'm having a really shitty day. I'd like for you to come sit next to me. So it's a roller coaster, but I found a way, and I have tools now to help people find a way to all the chaos into some sort of clarity along the way.
So you mentioned you had a coach through your divorce. How did you become a midlife coach? How did you get involved in this wonderful career?
Just smile when I think about it. So my background is in counseling. I was a middle school guidance counselor, worked in a high school, always with special needs children. So
24 years.
24 years.
Incredible.
A long
Amazing.
time. So a lot of women in my situation were waiting to retire, so I didn't want to do that. I started talking publicly, especially through menopause, on Facebook. I love to use it. I love to speak with women and people in general about menopause. And I recognized there were so many people reaching out to me. Oh my God, Julie, I can't get out of bed, or my skin, or I am just not doing well. So it all of a sudden, God is so good, created a community for me to speak with people and share that you are not alone. It was this amazing community that was happening. I didn't even know it was happening, of these women coming together and knowing they're not alone, and talking about what was working for them, and talking about what was working for me, and talking about what wasn't working. So, and recognizing it was really just a shit show for a little bit, but there is an after, and to hold hands during the process. And my coach, and this is the way I do my coaching, we did spend some time talking about what had happened, but we very much came with a roadmap for where we were going. Like, where are we going now? Goal setting, yeah. Right? Like, we had a pity party, and I'm sorry that happened to you, and we've done it.
Yes.
But what's next? Right? Here's a roadmap, and it doesn't necessarily always go that way, but here's tools to regulate yourself along the way, and just knowing that better times were coming. It's all led to this, Colleen. It is, if it was meant for you, it will not pass. And if it's not meant for you, it will. And looking for signs. We talk a lot about that. It's looking for signs around you of what's good and what's not. And just opening your eyes to it. It's been such an amazing journey. So I decided to go back and get my certifications in health and life, because they're all connected. Your mental health, your financial health, and your physical health. I figured out you cannot have one without the other. So I've come up with this amazing program to help women kind of find themselves.
And it really
and love themselves.
It is amazing. You are phenomenal.
Thank you.
Did this feel like a big career change, or did it feel like a natural progression as you built this community of women around you? And, I know you're easy to speak to. You have a great personality.
Thank you.
So coming to you for advice feels like, we've said it before, it's like talking to my sister.
You are my sister, by the way. Yes. Note to self. I love you too. It was, I, I don't even think, Colleen, I realized it was happening. I don't even think, I'm always a lot of times one to say yes and then think about it. So that's kind of the way I'm wired. But through the process, it's the way it made me feel. I felt so empowered. I felt so happy to share what I had learned. And I'm not a doctor. I just, through my own life experience and the classes I took and the books I read, to share that real life experience with other people. I would go to sleep, and I didn't sleep for months. I would go to sleep feeling fulfilled. I would really feel fulfilled. And then I started to say, oh, I want to do more. I want to do more. I have big dreams. I want to do this. I'm going to be on the Today Show, by the way. I'm manifesting that. But if I can hit women and give them hope, it started to encompass my whole feeling and my whole attitude and my whole aura. And I didn't want to keep that to myself.
It's amazing. You have such a positive energy about you, and I know that you touch the lives of so many people. They remember you forever, whether they come to you for a short period of time or they end up being your friend after receiving coaching.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yes, that must be fulfilling, and amen to being able to sleep at night knowing that you are doing good by others and actually positively influencing and affecting their lives for the better in the future. I mean,
thank you, Colleen.
That's incredible.
It's a gift. It is a gift, and it's always a work in progress. I always want to do more, but it's been such a gift, and I want to use it. And I, of course, love speaking to people, and I'm happy to have it to share with people.
Wonderful. So you've mentioned a couple times menopause and kind of this turning point, and we've seen a few of your podcasts where women have shared their experiences. What was that like for you personally?
It was really awful. It was really awful. For someone that things had come easy to me, I literally, I said before, I could not get out of bed. And a girlfriend of mine needed to come get me out of bed in the morning for a long time. I wasn't sleeping. I was afraid to go to sleep because I knew that I wasn't going to sleep. And then I was afraid to wake up because here we were going with a whole nother day of true misery, just not feeling myself. And I couldn't eat and I couldn't sleep. And I'm sure my daughters knew. And then it puts a lot of pressure on a mom, especially a single mom, to put on a happy face. Right. I now have conversations with my girls. They were like, Mommy, you are a mess. Until I was ashamed by it. I was still dropping eggs. So I wasn't even really in menopause yet. None of it really made sense. So that's where I met you. I ended up at a doctor that helped me, did a whole panel. My gynecologist just literally wanted to give me estrogen, which I didn't need. Right. So they are not even really trained on that. So that's another podcast.
They want to give you a Band-Aid.
Yeah. I did. My estrogen was totally fine. So I got a panel with a functional medicine doctor, and I started testosterone and just the things I need, mostly supplements because I don't like to take medicine. That was also a work in progress. It's not as if in 1 month I started to feel better, but it gave me the ability when I asked for help to categorize things, and little steps to me became big steps. When I slept the night, it was amazing. I also had a lot of physical issues. I hurt my back at yoga. It's like, it seemed like everything at once, and I really didn't see past it. It's the first time in my life I literally had awful thoughts that the world would be better without me. I'm in my car, and I had thoughts of just hitting the rail, and those were real thoughts in my head. So I didn't like it. I sat in it for a while because women were supposed to just fix things. Right. So I asked for help. I regulated the things I needed to regulate. And along with that, it parlayed into a job at that office, bridging the gap between medical and emotional health. And that just spiraled into something else. And I got to meet amazing people, and I bring those people with me. And it's a process. I think people, it's a journey. It's not, that's then the mud, that's where the mud happens, in the gray area, right? You're always in a gray area till you die, first of all. But in the gray area, as you're starting to get better, it was such an eye-opening experience to me to now know that life is not always good. I was telling myself this up until this point, that it's ups and downs, and it's even along the way, it is really beautiful, and there's so much to learn.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about that. I'm glad that you open up and speak about menopause. I know so many women struggle with it. I know I watched my mom personally suffer through the hormones and the fluctuations. And, it's not something that just happens overnight and then you get a pill and then you're fine.
That
would
be great.
There's waves of the emotion and the physical and how your body changes. And it's overwhelming because it's things that you really can't control, that your body's going to go through, on its own time and its own terms.
And it's going to happen to every woman. It has, it will, or you've been through it.
Right.
And I think it's always something that stays with you. And getting harder, getting older, Colleen, is hard.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm sure you look at your face and it's a little bit different, and your body doesn't do things it once did, and you get forgetful, but it's a rite of passage. I always say, like, it's stages of life. When you get your period, it's like, oh my God, that's amazing, you're a woman, and it's celebrated. Then you have that whole life until you stop getting your period, and clearly it's hormone related, and we look down on menopause. Why is that not celebrated? Why is that not, you've done your job? A lot of my friends, you have young kids, your children are at college, and it's a new chapter for you to move on with what you have.
Right. It's not the end of life.
It's not.
If anything, it's a new reset for the next stage of your life.
It is. And that's what I'm trying to do, open women's eyes.
So what do you think women get wrong about midlife?
Yeah. It is, and I don't know if it was when our parents went through it, it seemed different, or the way it's portrayed in movies, or the way you see things on TikTok. Because midlife now is, we're living longer, thank goodness, is, not 40, it's 50, or maybe even 60 for some people. It is the acceptance of this is happening. It is acceptance that it's really all going to be over one day. And what are you doing on the daily to have fun and recognize yourself and love yourself and learn yourself? So it is very much a gift. It certainly beats the alternative, right? So, but it's very, very difficult. I'm on a mission to make it something beautiful and warm. And personally, I'm having the best time. I'm having the best sex. I'm having the best conversations. I'm having the best sleep. I can do what I want when I want. And it's so freeing. And it was scary when I was younger, but it's not now. And if someone comes into my life, awesome. If someone doesn't, I'm just as well. But I know myself better. I know myself so much better now to give to someone. So, yeah.
So it sounds like it's almost like changing the stigmatism around it's a midlife crisis.
Right.
So many women, or individuals, men, women, they're have an affair, they go buy a new car,
Yes.
They get a tattoo.
Yes.
There's just things where they feel like this hole or absence where they have to fulfill that in some drastic form.
It's silly, really. I feel that we've seen it on the sites too. It's so silly I think people want to be younger because the word crisis, you just said it. Why is that a crisis? It's really beautiful, and it really allows you to do things you couldn't do when you had children at home, or you were younger, or figuring yourself out, or working on your career. So it's really an arrival. And I say, I have it with my podcast, I say reinvention is not a crisis, it's a calling. So it is, getting older is a calling. And what are you doing? I know a lot of people, they're waiting till they're 80 and they're saving up all their money for a cruise, and they're going to go on it. They can't walk. They're in like a diaper, and like all that time is wasted waiting. Some people are waiting to die. Right. And I want people to enjoy living, because it's such a gift. We're on a floating ball in the universe.
Yeah, and every day is a gift. I truly do believe that, showing up for yourself and being present and getting the most out of life.
Yeah, and it's there. It's all there for you. It's a little bit different. I don't think it's better or worse. It just is. And welcome it and enjoy it and live in it and celebrate it.
I agree. I agree. So your podcast is called It's Not Over.
Yes, it is.
What does this phrase mean to you personally?
Wow. It's really just starting if you allow it. And it's not, because life is a roller coaster, right? And it is really just starting. There are so many things you can do now. Retirements out there and philanthropic work, if it's something you want to do, looking back on what you've done and learning all of those life lessons to redefine you as you get into your 60s and 70s and that next half. That's what it means. It means literally it's not over. And many of us think it is, but it's really not.
Why do you think people feel that it's over? That going back to midlife crisis or feeling stuck or trapped, why do you think people like overall feel like it's over for them?
I think, and we grew up like this, thinking the best years are behind you, right? But I'm thinking, my God, when I was young, I needed to go to work and go to school and figure out what I wanted to do. There's a lot of stressors in that part of your life too, that you just are not part of this part of our lives. There's always stressors. I know a lot of us our parents are getting older, and that's hard, and there's always obstacles, but it's welcoming them. It's welcoming them. It's know that it's going to happen. It's being prepared as best you could. You could never really prepare for it, but having tools, speaking to someone to kind of open your eyes to, like, let's go. And the communication, we spoke about it earlier, is also with ourselves. Wake up every morning. I'm sure you have a mantra too. I say, today is a great day. Not it's going to be. Today is a great day, and everything is happening for me.
Absolutely. I think that's fantastic. Starting out on that positive vibe and energy. I know something my parents were really big on is not living in the past. And I don't think I really understood that until I got into my 30s. It was, thinking about the old memories and the times of, well, I used to do this and I used to get to do that. And, instead of thinking about what you used to have or used to do, what can I do now for myself? Because it's not over.
It's not over.
You can do whatever you want to do if you just take the approach, and instead of thinking of it from a depressed perspective, a positivity.
You're right. And social media too, I'm thinking as you're talking, has put this kind of stigma on being young, and people putting things in their butts and filters on their face. There's a name for it. I forgot what it is. But putting filters on your face and pretending to be younger, which I think it's so stupid, really.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid. I think be who you are. Women are beautiful. It's seeing it and knowing it and working on letting your brain kind of get that message that beauty is not here.
Right.
Beauty is not here. It is inside, and it's how you treat people and your kindness and how you help people and how you show up.
I agree with that. I know I'm personally a big fan on, if you don't like something about yourself, work hard to change that to be who you want to be without the quick fix.
Yes.
Everyone's about the quick fix nowadays. And
It's work.
Comparison is a theft of joy. That's something Theodore Roosevelt said. It really is. If you're always comparing yourself to others and what they have or what they look like or what they do, you can never really be whole in your own heart, because you're always going to feel like something's missing.
You're right.
It's accepting who you are as an individual.
Yes. And it's work. You said it's work.
It's work.
There
it's
was
work.
no pill. There was no. It's
no, I wanted a bigger butt. I go to the gym.
You did it.
Squats on squats.
There's a name for it.
Yeah.
I'll remember it later. Anyway, talking about butts.
So do you still have hard days? And
Yes.
what does that look like now for you? How are you able to show up differently for yourself when you have those hard days?
I think that it's just a part of life. There are days I wake up and I think there's a misconception for people that know me or watch me that I'm happy all the time. There are days I'm not feeling well, really.
Yeah.
And I lay in bed, or
You're human.
I have a pity party. I know that it's going to pass. But I have some really, really hard days. I do. And I don't want to say I welcome them, but how would you recognize a really great day if you didn't have hard days? So
true.
I want to say there's no rainbow without rain. So, and there's seasons, but it's recognizing it and not allowing it to overwhelm you or own you, right? We're going to have hard days. It's a hard job being a woman and all the stuff that we do.
And a single mom and a
single
business
mom.
owner and an entrepreneur. And so when you do feel overwhelmed, are there any tips or tricks that you could share to help kind of get out of that funk?
I get dressed. I get dressed, and I will go outside, even for a little bit, even for a few minutes. I like to look at pictures. Is that weird? Like,
No.
I like to look at pictures of the things with my family, and my
Things that
dog
make you
has
happy.
been, yes.
Yeah.
My dog has been a godsend. My baby Stella. She's always there for me. And just going back to the things that I've shared with people, because I can't be a hypocrite. I can't stay in bed for days, and I can't not do the things that I'm asking people to do. But it's work. It's work. Most days are wonderful, but some days are just not, and that's okay.
I agree. Not every day is a good day, but there's good in every day.
You go, girl. That's a good one. That's touche. You are right.
So what are you most proud of yourself in this chapter of your life?
Yeah.
You do so many wonderful things.
I am humbled that women look up to me. I'm shocked a lot of the time that I am literally just a normal person doing normal things that anyone could do. And I sometimes see people at the grocery store like, oh my God, Julie, I watched your video. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so amazing. So I'm humbled that anyone in the world would look to me for advice or for help or for tools. So I still have to pinch myself that I have become kind of a person that has the ability to do that. So that's really humbling. I am still, the way I still am able to take care of my body and recognize nutrition and exercise plays such a big part. And celebrating wins when it's tiny little things, just waking up, it adds up. Those little wins add up to big wins. So I'm really humble to everyone that you would even think of me that way. So thank you. And I will continue to learn and work and help until I die.
I love that. So I will say every time I pick up the phone and hear her voice, it's like an instant change for me. I could be in any mood and I hear her voice and just your positivity just radiates. Like it just,
I love you.
it just makes me immediately forget whatever problem is not a problem anymore because you're just so positive. It's amazing.
And Colleen was a client of mine, by the way.
Yes.
She went through a fun divorce.
So
and it was so beautiful because she has become my sister and we've really remained close. And she let me use her house for my podcast for a couple weeks. I keep moving it. So thank you
Of course.
for doing your part.
That's what friendship's like.
Yes.
So if people want to connect, whether it's for coaching or just see your podcast, where can we find you?
It's a good question. I have on my Facebook page a calendar because I love to speak with people. I like to Zoom with people to get to know them and feel their energy. Or I get a lot of direct messages, which is beautiful also. Like, hey, Julie, I saw something that you did, or I need help, or I see what you're doing, or I wonder if it would be a fit. So those two ways are probably the best ways. I have a new website, actually, that I'm going to share. That's awesome. And on the website, it's got things my web designer click here. I'm not too.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So you can click in there.
So it'll connect you to Facebook,
Correct.
LinkedIn,
And my
Instagram,
calendar.
all the social media apps.
Which is so weird because I don't really know any of that.
You've made
stuff.
it.
I guess so. I guess so. I'm learning along the way. It hasn't been smooth, but I'm still here and I'm learning.
I love that. Okay, so we're going to end with a quick rapid fire round. I'm just going to rattle off a few things and just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Ella Cafe.
Yes, it's so good. But I did hear decaf when you're going through menopause is better, but I don't know.
Good
I'm
to
sticking
know.
to coffee.
I'll keep that one in my pocket for the future. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person,
Favorite way to reset your mood?
music,
Something you do just for you. No kids, no work. Keep it PG.
yeah, I know. I'm thinking. I'm trying. I would say read and learn. Read and learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
One word that describes this chapter of your current life.
Awesome.
Love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Awesome.
A habit you're proud of right now.
My daughters. Yep, my daughters.
A good to feel good or go to feel good song.
Ooh, I like that Natasha Bedingfield. Rest is still unwritten. Oh.
Yes.
I love that song. That is like and there's the fight song. I forget who sings it. Those I jam in my car. My kids are sick of them, but that's my jam.
On repeat.
Yes, on repeat.
Something you've let go of in midlife.
Caring what other people think about me. Seriously, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. People block me
Judge
on
away.
Facebook. Block me on Facebook. Wonderful. You're freeing up space for someone else. I just don't care. Genuinely. And it's a learned thing because I used to care. I don't care anymore. Done. Drop the mic.
There you go.
Okay.
Biggest lesson divorce taught you.
Wow. Life is not always what you thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does peace look like for you today?
Peace looks like I'm really going about my day, energizing myself, exercising, knowing that I've done something good for myself that day, and even better if I've done something for somebody else. That's peaceful. That's peaceful.
What is a non-negotiable in your life right now?
My health, I would say my health. That is something I'm not even penciling it in. I work backward from my yoga and my time and the things I need to do to keep myself well for other people. That's a non-negotiable.
I love that.
Thank you.
What's one thing you wish you knew at 35?
I think it goes back to really not caring. You know how many things I went to that I really didn't want to go?
It's okay to say no,
it's
right?
okay to, maybe is a beautiful word.
Yeah.
Maybe you kind of know you're not going to go, but maybe is a beautiful thing. Give me time to think. I never wanted to disappoint anyone, so I was a yes. And then I would go places and be like, shit, I knew I didn't want to come. I knew I didn't want to be there. No one even cared I was there. So I wish I could have saved about 15 years of me time saying no to things.
I agree. I think so many people can relate to always being a yes person and showing up and people pleasing. And that's kind of, both of our generations grew up with that. And now we're learning from the 20-year-olds who actually set boundaries and learn to say no. I mean, they do not at all. They're not worried.
Up at work late with their Starbucks, and they don't even apologize for being late. This next generation, Colleen, is going to be interesting how they look at relationships too. I see.
Yes.
Many of them are not going to get married, and a lot of them are women, girls. My daughter's 20. She is so independent. She will have her own money and her own career. And she's just gonna rock it. My little one, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with her.
To be determined.
TBD. Yes, yes.
What makes you feel the most like yourself?
I think in the morning when I am by myself, drinking coffee, looking around at my house. My house is a very peaceful place. It's the one thing I walked away from my marriage. I put money into a home, And I just sit and look around and I'm like, this is awesome. Like I literally look at my home. This is awful. And this coffee is delicious too. And it really gets me off for a start for the day. I get excited about what's happening. I look at my schedule and I'm like, it's going to kick ass today.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
If your daughters described you in one word, what would you hope that they would say?
Strong.
Strong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. And the final closing message, your message in 3 words. I know I'm limiting you.
You are. I really want to say, it's going to sound corny, but I want to say, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do it. No no's, no reasons why not to. Let's go. Let's do this together. No more messing around.
Yeah.
I added a lot of words.
Okay. Finish the sentence.
Ooh.
It's not over because.
It's just beginning. Again, sounds corny, but that's really what I want to say. It's just beginning. Everything has happened to you that's led here. It's go time. LFG.
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 The new motto every day. LFG.
LFG, that's it. That's my message. That's what I want.
Amazing. Well, I'm so glad I got to take the opportunity to
Thank
interview you and kind of
Thank you.
you get to
You
be
did
in
great.
the well,
You
thank you
did
very
amazing.
much. You know.
So
I've
thank
seen
you.
a lot of these.
Yeah, I'm like, no one knows about me. So I'm asking people to trust me with their health and their emotional stuff. So I hope this gave people an idea of who I am, all over the place sometimes, but coming from a good place and still learning as I'm going. So thank you guys for joining us. Colleen and I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For joining us today. And if this spoke to you, share it with someone, download it. If you want to listen to it again, let me know how you liked it. And I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Bye.